All right, Mogar. As
Symarra ate the crackers and they were powdery.
She runs up to you. You cross the fence. And it seems to open up into a much larger courtyard. You can begin seeing some of the outlines of a building in this direction.
How many buildings? Okay, one building. Nate, I see something
hello?
to the north.
Yes, hello!
She's just like,
Come with me and see what's
like she's just looking around. Okay, I'm sorry, you said where?
Straight into this building, straight north.
North! Okay, and then she's like, okay, north. Okay, let's go.
But we need to be careful.
Okay,
Because
you
there
got
may
it,
be
buddy.
things
I'm the most careful is my third middle name. You don't gotta worry about that. Let's go.
The
There's
first,
not a
the
building
first
here
and
to the
second
left?
is not Barry.
We can't go to the left. There's no building to the left. That's like a guard post kind of thing.
It is like a small little guard shack, but there's nothing.
Oh,
in
is
there.
that it? Is this it?
Yes.
Give me a perception.
Mogar, is this it? Are we here?
All right,
Look,
all
is
right.
this what?
We got. You're too close. You're too
I'm
close.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Give me a perception, please, as you guys near the home.
Oh crap. Yes, Mogar, please, thank you.
Mogar, you see Nyx run up, and you're like, no, don't, you're too close. And that's when you see, faintly, light shining from a side window inside of the dilapidated home. It seems to be a small brick manor house, overgrown with thick sheets of gray and green ivy. The roof sags ominously, and the front door hangs askew.
I would like to inform all this quietly to Nyx.
And I just want to point out that Nyx, when Mogar's like, no, stop, she's just like frozen, like she didn't do it, like she's,
Mogar's gonna tell Nyx to calmly come backwards to where I am, inform her exactly what I have seen, and that I would like to take a closer look quietly. But since I am so big and I have no idea if they can hear me or not, maybe she can use her bush.
Mogar gives you that Mike Guy pose with the thumb, the
Or from Dogma the Jesus, the yes Jesus, the
yes.
I got my emote designed, and as I submitted it, it occurred to me it looks like Buddy Christ.
Nice. Very cool.
okay, so, Nyx just, backs it up, does a little, dance, backs it up, shakes her butt, and Mogar obviously just told me everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, would you like to sneak and see first?
Sneak is my other middle name. I got you. Alright, so where am I going? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Says Nick.
I'm just saying, possibly you can trick around the place in your bush and peep your head out into different windows. Even maybe if you need to, hopefully you don't need to, but climb the roof to see if there's any holes that maybe you can see inside. If there's any, to see what the hell's inside that's shining.
Okay, so do I go left or right?
Wherever you'd like to go.
That is all
where exactly
you.
was the shiny thing? Like, which window?
It was emanating from the front of the home through a
Oh,
window.
the front of the home. Okay. All right. Well, then I'm gonna go to the left, and I'm gonna kind of mosey my way around to see if there's an opening or vines growing.
Sure. Give me a
or
perception,
anything like
please.
Shit's getting juicy.
Give me a stealth, Nyx Knacklenim.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's a slash. Okay.
Ooh, damn.
That's really
No
good.
way.
She's stealthy.
That's really good.
Stealthy as fuck.
We're doing good. Let's
Yeah, we
go.
are.
As you are moving behind the home, trying to find a new way in, or a way that you can potentially view what's going on, you hear something. At first, it feels like a faint buzzing, but then it begins to pick up in trepidation.
Oh.
Oh God.
You
There's
begin
a
to look
whisper.
around,
What the fuck is that?
and when you look up, the moonlight shows you a sturge flying directly for the home. You stand very still as it lands on the roof. Its wings seemingly curl in under itself, and with its 6 very thin and gaunt appendages, finds a hole and climbs in.
Wait,
would
she
like
climbed
to-
in?
The
No,
sturge.
the
I
creepy
would like
hornet
to
thing.
return to Mogar very stealthily. Bloop.
This is the picture of it again, Daniel.
So then she just kind of like, you know, does her little bush dance back over to,
Is that what the light is? It's them?
it's me. I'm the light.
She saw it
Wait.
in the moonlight,
Oh.
or like shadow of the moon or whatever, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, like, okay.
And it like went on that roof and went through the.
Okay. So, so I go back to Mogar, bush dance all the way back. Mogar. Like, I'm just like looking straight, but the bush is like, Mogar.
What? No.
It's just, it's so, I don't know, I have the best picture in my head. So, I like saw an opening, right? But the bug, the
Spit it out, no.
the sturge just went in, it crawled into the hole, and I don't want to go in there.
Sturge. The same bug that the sorceress saw, huh?
Yes.
Not the sorceress, the druid.
The,
Is it the druid?
yeah, the druid was talking about, yeah.
The druid.
Yes. Do you want me to keep looking, though? Or I just wanted to tell you, I don't know how to communicate. I just wanted to let you know that there is a bug in the house. It could be a nest.
We don't want to go in there because if we get stung, we're done for.
Okay, should we leave it alone?
Yes.
Are you sure?
But-
Maybe I could get away in the basement. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just in the roof.
Did you have any other look?
No, I had to come back and tell you because I didn't want to just go do something without telling you because we're like a team, you know. We're like a super cool team right now, and we're doing all the investigating and the detectiving, and you know, we're like a team, man.
So Mogar, I'm going with the music. I'm trying to go in. So Mogar then grasps quickly over to Nyx and just picks her up and throws her over back into the thing. I was just kidding.
God damn it! Onto the roof, all of the sturges just come out like.
No, I'm just kidding. That would suck. But I don't know where I want to go with this, man. Like with Mogar, he wanted to go in and literally is trying to find Kendra. And that's the only thing that's in his mind. What's going on is like everybody just keeps going away. He just wants everybody to be back so we can then find out what's going on with the master. Then he's also finding out that this may or may not be a good idea, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. It's already done. It needs to be done, and he needs to figure out what he needs to do. So what to do is all that he's thinking all at the same time.
Okay, Nick's just like, she's getting tired of waiting. So she's like, okay, well, you think about this. I'm gonna go look on the other side, okay? Okay, good job. Okay. So she makes her move. She goes to the right side this time, looks around, and I'm gonna roll perception to see if there's another opening, maybe somewhere else.
You said there was a light inside, or that was a moonlight?
There is some kind of light inside. It's not natural light. It's not moonlight and sunlight.
All right.
It's like a firelight.
I want to figure that out. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think with me it would be thumping and they would hear me. That's why I would Nyx.
Especially
Sure.
since there's surges in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nyx.
definitely.
As you begin to round the home, trying to utilize the shadow, the rainfall, to mask each and every one of your steps, you begin to slowly pad your way up to the door. You can hear the sound of the wind beating on the rear side of the home, and its creakiness is, oh, so eerie. It begins to wave in the wind. You see light flinching around a corner. Not enough to bring warmth to you, but as you look in, you see multiple sturges convening in one spot. Each of them lie, fluttering, when something abruptly goes across your vision. It moves with blinding speed. Do you pull away?
Yes.
When you flinch back, you jump backwards, trying to catch yourself, resist the urge to scream. You see it cover the light, and then as quickly as it covers the light, it steps back around. Do you look back?
I'm a fucking bush. I'm sorry, what?
Do you look back into the open area?
Yes.
Oh no!
When you begin to look back into the open area, the sturges seemingly stop scuttling about the floor. Their crab-like bodies begin to turn and twist, and their attention focuses on one point. They seemingly look around to each other, and then back to whatever this focal point is. And then you can see a hand creakedly stretch out over the top of them. This hand seems to stretch almost eternally. It doesn't even seem to stop. And as it begins to move and creak over them, you can see the naked form, human form of a woman. Her body is contorted upside down. She's crawling crab style with
my God, it's
her head twisted back. As she begins to turn, creating a shelter for these sturges, they pierce her body from the back. And as they do so, in almost like a moment of lust, her eyes open up and her mouth falls agape, and you can see that her eyes are darkened in black. Black smoke seems to shuffle about the room, almost as if some kind of calling is occurring. Something seems to be happening, more so, as these tendrils and whips of smoke seem to swish around her body and almost cradle her. You can see apparitions, the visage of skeletal men support her alabaster body, looming as a single figure walks around, judging this like at some kind of a dog show. Dangling from his wrist appears to be some kind of panpipe.
His wrist.
You notice the sturges drinking from Kendra.
It is Kendra! So I had to
You said his wrist.
No, but the girl that is backwards, that's contorted like
okay.
freaking
I'm sorry.
possessed.
I thought we were still on that. I'm sorry. Go on.
The apparition draws its hand upward, grabbing at the pipe, and begins to blow into them. Individually at first, and it doesn't really seem like much. But then you note the chimes beginning to blow as they ring out from this figure, from this lack thereof individual. You see as the chimes begin to ring out over this area, Mogar still back in thought, still like white-knuckling around his weapon, waiting for something to happen. As the chimes ring out, you can see the sturges begin to raise their wings and slowly flutter, almost as if they're in some kind of a dance. As they begin to whip around, they bloat their bellies with Kendra's blood. And then as quickly as he blew into his pipes, he stops, and they withdraw their proboscis. There's an audible like schlurp noise. As this happens, her eyes flinch back closed, her mouth closes as well, and she begins to crawl back to a position away from the sturges. Her body twists end over end, and she rests in a praying position as she begins to rock and pray in place. The man, this apparition, draws his hand up and points back to the open hole in the roof. As this happens, the Sturges take to flight.
Oh shit!
Holy fuck. Well, you gotta tell me that.
Elo's gonna be so...
Nyx is a little scared to move right now. She doesn't want to be a fucking moving obstacle bush going all the way back to you.
The blue candlelight that seemed to emit from the room, which radiates yellow past the door, it slowly begins to disappear into the floor. As this happens, the man strikes his hand out again, no longer from the roof, but almost in like a waiting pose to Kendra, as his body begins to also seep through the floor. He last draws fingers over her cheek, and she stops in prayer. And he disappears. The tendrils retreat to the ceiling, and as this happens, Kendra falls prone to the floor. With an audible slap, her face hits the boards of the home.
I'm spooked.
Mogar sees the flying... Does Mogar see the flying,
Sturges?
Spurges? Yeah, Scourges? Like, all of them fluttering out?
Give me a perception. Let's see.
My hand hurts from writing all that.
Yeah, Mogar, you would see the Sturges exit the building. They take the
So
flight.
if I see that, I'm gonna then start heading towards Nyx, no matter what, because they're already up in the air flying towards a different spot, right? Or are they like around this area?
They've taken off.
I'm gonna just go straight towards Nyx and be like, Nyx! No! What did you see? What the heck is that? What are these Sturges doing all in here? What? I know you told me about these Sturges, but what is going on?
Why are you yelling? I just poked my head out. Shut up! Doop, 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 doop. All the way back. Doop, 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 doop. There is no reason to yelling. Come back. Okay. So, Nyx, after coming back and screaming, she just like sits her little bush down. Okay. So, this is what happened. And then I tell Mogar everything that Bub relayed in that epic scene that had me enthralled. It's back to Mogar, and then I just sit there like, but Kendra's still in the house, but I don't know if we should go in the house because I think the guy came through the floor, and I don't know if we should go.
Mogar is just enraged because of exactly.
Oh God.
Yep, that literally her body just became like a contortionist, and she had all these Sturges sucking her blood, meaning that she's tainted most likely, or have tainted her. We have no idea what's going on, but she just got into some crazy shit. We need to get her the hell out of here. This is Mogar, because again, Mogar just wants to go. He's like a train, cold train, choo choo baby, let's go. So he's angry. He hears all this stuff. Mogar's gonna be like, oh no master, and he's just gonna bust through the house to try to see if he can get Kendra and get the hell out of here as fast as possible.
Okay.
What can we do to make this happen?
Do you charge into the building?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. When
you said everything's gone, right?
Yeah. As far as you know.
Let's boogie. Let's go.
Okay, all right. Can I be on your back though?
You jump on it.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that. I'm gonna be in. You're
all right,
gonna be
fine.
enraged.
I
You gotta
just
do it.
fucking bush off, fucking
Sure.
hanging on to his large neck, fucking legs dangling in the wind as he's fucking charging.
My neck is starting
through
to
the
pop
door.
because next one is on me, which gets me a little bit angrier. So it just gets things going. So get it. What do I have to roll to make sure that I can get through it?
You don't have
Everything.
To. You
Do I
don't have
roll
to,
anything?
You don't have to roll anything. You can just say that you're going into the room, or you want to go into the house. That's fine. You already know that there is some kind of a door.
We're busting in.
As you charge to the front half of the building, you find the door and you kick it through. And as you run in, lying in the darkness of the room, in a position that seems very odd to you, it sort of looks like an old painting. Picture a very Victorian-style painting. She lies on her right hip, with her legs very taut together, and she's sitting up, but she's holding her arms across her body. You can see just above her right butt cheek, in the middle of her back, and just below her left shoulder, where she's been stabbed by Sturgis. When she hears you burst in, she looks back to you, slowly turning her head, and there's a creak almost in the way that she moves. It's sort of like the building is almost indicative of how her body moves, just dilapidated and creaky. When she turns to you, she tries to mutter something out, but her throat is so dry, her lips are cracked, and she's shivering. Nothing comes out. You see that she's lying, well, half sitting there nude. And before she can mutter anything out, you hear like a crack of the voice, and she falls unconscious.
First thing that I want to do is whatever kind of studded leather, because she said she's half nude, right?
Yeah, all that she had was her nightgown.
Whatever studded leather or whatever kind of like coverings, because I don't have much, but whatever I have to make her a little bit more warmer, I want to be able to give that to her so that she can be able to be a little bit more warm as it's leather.
Sure.
Not only that, so I'm now almost butt naked. All I have is a loincloth. I also I would like to inform Nyx to come over here, because I guess she's on my neck. I'm going to grab her from my neck, and I'm just going to place her down right next to me. I'm just going to be like, no.
Yes.
Well, I hope you've seen exactly what's going on, so you can tell me, I don't know, what you think that we should do. I believe that we need to take her back. This is just me out of character. That we should take her back to the place because she's unconscious.
Can I attempt to pour a little bit of my potion in her mouth?
Yeah, you can. It's not really going to give much to her. It's one of those things where you either do the whole thing or not.
It's a health thing, yeah.
So
right?
You have to make the decision. Do you use the whole potion or not?
No, just a little. I just want to use a little.
It's not going to have any effect on her. It's like a one.
It won't even give her just a little bit of anything while we take her back.
Unfortunately, no. It's kind of like picture it like this: potions are just the liquid form of spell. If you know that Wingardium Leviosa is everything that you need to cast a spell, it would be like giving them just the wind, and not the Guardium Leviosa. It's not going to do anything for them.
Okay.
You gotta give it all. Give it all, you don't give it all.
All right, we won't do it. I won't do it. All right, let's go. Let's pick her up.
Okay.
Right. So Nyx, you want to take her back? We need to go back to the house. What? This is crazy. What is going on? We need to go.
It was really scary. I don't know why you're yelling. Pick her up and let's go.
So I'm gonna pick up Kendra if I can.
Okay.
Because I know she is very fragile at this moment.
I would like to.
Will I be contacted? Will I get any contact from like in a zombie with blood or anything like?
No,
if I were to grab
it's
her?
not like that. It's not like that.
No. Okay, so
At
I'm going to
least
grab her.
You're not sure. I mean, it could happen, but that's a risk you take.
Almost. Gotcha. I'm gonna hold her 2 hands.
Okay.
Kind of like a baby.
Sure.
I don't want to put her over my and just have her like over there. She might have some stomach problems in the future and shit like that. Like, I don't want none of that.
Sure.
So I'm gonna carry her there, and then we're going to hopefully head back towards Kendra's house.
Okay. All right. As you begin to charge back to Kendra's home, to the Lorimore residence, the moment that you exit the building, you get that sense again, both of you, sort of like you're being watched.
Can I disguise myself as a rock, please? I wanted to do that before we left.
And as if you've never quite experienced... As if you've never quite experienced the walk of shame, now is that time. When you exit the establishment, when you leave this home on the grounds, the moment that you cross the door, there are literal rows of skeletal apparitions that provide a clear path. There is a path that they have given you. And on the left side, as far as the eye can see, and on the right side, as far as the eye can see, there are skeletal apparitions that watch you.
So can you give me a rundown on the map on exactly what like walkways that they're giving us? I'm guessing one towards the prison, the other one towards the exit.
Not even to the prison, just to the exit.
Both of them are to the exit, or just one?
There's only one way. It's from the home to the exit of the grounds.
Like a wall. It's like a wall, like just
Yeah.
kind of like a maze. Kind of think of like
No,
a
of
maze.
course,
and
of
how-
course. But it sounded like he said that there was 2 exits. But okay.
Oh, okay, all right.
No. So if there's only one exit, then yeah. Holy shit! But how the hell? So you're basically saying like almost like Diablo 2, the whole entire place is covered like in bone wall.
No,
Like,
as in there are skeletal ghosts watching you. They're
oh.
standing shoulder to shoulder.
So yeah, almost like bone wall, but they're ghosts. Okay.
Yeah,
Skeletal ghosts.
that's why it's like a walk of shame. They're watching you exit the grounds.
Are these? Damn, is it like? Oh my god, we don't know who these people are. We just know that we gotta get
Yeah,
out of
it's
there.
just like an eerie kind of.
Let's. Mogar observes, and while we're getting out of there, Mogar tells
Nix, this is not good. We need to get out of here. This is gonna get a little bit more crazier. We need the whole team. I'm glad we got Kendra, but we need to get out.
But while he's saying this, before he does, he's looking and trying to see if he can perceive anything before while saying this to Nix. You know, like whispering this to her and looking around at the same time. Is there anything that I can roll for, or we can roll for to see if we can while or before we're about to charge out of here, if there's something that we can take back to the team about these skeletal apparitions?
Negative.
Okay, so let's just get the fuck out of here. Let's go, Nix.
All right.
Okay.
Do.
If you need a better idea, this is sort of what it looks like. There's a picture that I've dropped into the Twitch chat. If you needed a better vision.
Yep.
Lord of the Rings, exactly. Hell yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. In
Yeah,
reference.
that's literally also what I was thinking. Like all around.
They watch. Empty. They seem bottomless. Walls and walls of the undead.
Oh.
You run, exiting
Okay.
this establishment.
Meow.
You leave. As soon as you cross the path of the gate slams. It does not open.
Oh. Nix just like feverishly turns around like, oh. I don't think we're welcomed back, Mogar. I don't think we. I mean, I thought. I mean, we could have brought like maybe a deli platter, but you know that's fine. We're just...
Nix, never mind that. We gotta go.
Okay.
And so we're running.
Phew.
You run with everything that you have, and when you return to the residence, you'll see that the door is still unlocked. Symarra didn't relock it, because she knew that you would return, or at least she hoped that you would. As you return, you're greeted by Cypress. Symarra, they burst through the door. Mogar is holding a hardly leather-clad version of your patron here, this person that is hosting you. It's Kendra Lorimore. She seems to be in a very similar situation to the apothecary.
Just get her on the bed.
Mogar puts her on the bed.
I don't know. I could just do what Cypress did. Yes,
Nix kind of like really energetically like tells them what she saw when she looked through the little opening in the house, and then everything else that she and Mogar did. all the way back to this point. So she's caught up and she knows everything about.
So can I be like, whilst this is happening, checking Kendra out while she's telling me, like, I don't know much about healing stuff, but I watched Cypress do it to the apothecary and Bart, so I feel like I might just low-key be copying him, but I kind of know because he said. Can I do that? Can I like low-key know about healing, but not really?
To a degree. I mean, you can imitate.
Yeah.
Like, you could probably like bandage wounds or like attempt to just recreate. What
yeah,
because
he's done it a few times now. So I
like you picked up a.
And he told us about the
tidbit.
sturgeon stuff, so I'm gonna like prod her a bit. I'm gonna see if she's breathing very well, because I think it's pretty obvious when someone's not breathing very well.
Right.
And how is she doing, Bub?
She's not in great condition. You know,
I mean,
that
she's not dead.
she needs rest. She needs fluids, probably a little bit of food, and TLC.
Okay, so I am really carefully giving her and the apothecary. Why did I just say apothecary? Apothecary, water. Like, I would think of how to do that with a sponge and have that, and just gradually squeeze it into the mouth so they don't choke.
Sure.
Well,
Symarra,
I don't know if Symarra.
give me a will save as you begin to sponge drip water into Kendra's mouth.
Oh, shit. What do I do for that? I haven't done one in a while. So is it just...
It's going to be a d20 plus your will. It should say fort, ref, will, fort, reflex, and will.
Yes, 2.
Very good.
That
Very,
nat 20,
very
baby.
good. Important roll. As you begin to sponge this water into her mouth, try to usher it down into her body to take in fluids. If she's in a similar situation to the apothecary, she has lost a great deal of fluid. She needs it. That being said, you get a flash of vision. A vision strikes you in a way that isn't quite uncomfortable. It's not like you've been surprised by this. You just get this vision that kind of pours over your recollection. It's sort of like a memory, like a fleeting memory, like, oh, what's that? You begin to smell the scent of something burning, something rich with fat. You smell burnt hair. And it begins to trigger a memory as you touch her lips. And in this memory, you can see what looks to be your hands as you're clawing out stone around you from the left and to the right. And you're begging for help. Please help me, please. Don't let us die down here. And then a man dressed as a guard walks up, throws lantern oil by the cupfuls. And then you begin to smell this rich, putrid aura of lantern oil flooding down this stone-riddled stairway. And as you're calling out for help, please don't let us die down here, the same man lights what looks to be a small bit of wood, and he tosses it and flips it directly at you. It hits your hands, and you begin to burn. And as you turn and try to wipe it away, move it off of your body, you see the rest of these other men that are dressed in rags, in dregs. They also begin crying out as they're burned alive. They are burned alive before your very eyes. And before you feel death overcome you, you wake back to the situation of you putting more water on the sponge and then dabbling it over her lips.
Out of character. Holy shit, this is how Harrowstone went on fire. Oh no! Oh, you muted, Daniel.
Who poured the lantern?
A guard.
But do we know which guard? Specifically?
Can I... I mean, there was a memorial to the warden. Can I remember if they look similar? Like, is that guard the warden, or is it just a generic guard? Because I doubt they'll have had like busts of the actual 20 or so of the guards.
As you are having this vision, Mogar, you're trying to calm down. Remember, like, you used your rage, and in a situation when you use rage and you come out of it, you're fatigued. It
Oh, I
wears
used
you out.
rage?
Yeah, well, you said, like, energy's up.
I'm enraged.
Yeah, you actually said I'm enraged.
Fuck, man, I didn't mean to say I'm enraged.
I mean, you get it back. You get it back every time you rest.
But I heard doesn't it hurt me?
No, it just makes you, like, you become exhausted. It's like,
it's time to go to bed now.
And you're like, yeah, it's sleep time. As this is happening, you're pouring this water, and you feel like you're prepared to say something. Nyx, you see Bart sit up straight from the bed, uncannily so.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
And he turns, and his eyes are paled over much like the apothecary's. And he leans in.
Shit.
Unawares, Symarra, he leans in just over your shoulder and to your ears he says, "It wasn't an accident."
This is spooky.
And then he collapses on the floor. And that's where I'm calling tonight's session.
Holy fuck, dude.
Oh,
You would.
I feel like we've heard it wasn't an accident before, but we didn't think anything of it.
I'm guessing the fire portion that you're stating is not an accident. It was all a setup. There's
Yeah,
something going
'cause
on. We're gonna figure out more.
What we thought we knew about Harrowstone Prison is that it was overcrowded, and it got hit by lightning and set on fire. Which, I mean, kind of is a bullshit story anyway, because it's stone. Yeah. But now we know that. Well, I know you guys. Apparently, I have visions. Can I enter this into my character? That's...
You can tell them about it if you like, but you'll have to do it next session. That's right.
Holy guacamole! I like this. Oh, but I was about to say books are so good, but it's
This is so good.
I know, I like want it to be a book so I can read it more.
Yeah, like, is there a way that we can like get into the lore more of D&D without trying to spoil D&D books, or do you have to read?
You could
the
jump
books?
into any kind of book that you find, but you won't know more about this story without spoiling the adventure for yourselves.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about it is you will just have to play through it.
I think that's really fun, but I feel like I need it all right now. Ugh. I'm
I
not
know.
one for, like...
We just got like a huge detail. Hell yeah, Mogar and fucking Nick's adventure dropping the bombshells.
I didn't even use my luck rerolls, man.
I didn't either.
I used one.
Hello.
You guys didn't want to go on an adventure.
I didn't. I mean,
What happens when you play it safe?
No, though. If I'd have left, Bob would have killed Ella. Like a little bit.
I mean,
His
I'm not
face.
saying that I wouldn't have,
Look at his face.
but I'm not saying that I would have. I will say this much. If no one had stayed, the apothecary would have died.
Well, I don't even know her name. Can we call
She
her
We don't
would've?
Karen?
have an emotional attachment with that woman.
Yeah,
Can we
but if
call
she
her
could have
Karen?
helped
Because
out.
that will
Then
have
if she would've-
hilarity will ensue.
If she died, then you guys wouldn't have access to an apothecary.
We can
Exactly.
Sure.
just steal it all. It's fine.
Yeah, but at that point, the part of the job is having it. The other part of the job is making those concoctions, and you can't just rely on Ello the entire time.
Correct. So I'm glad we saved everyone. Holy
It's
shit,
a
the split was good.
Mogar
Splitting was
saving
good.
the day.
So
You guys.
let's go ahead and dole out inspiration. For whatever reason, you guys decided to not use most of that.
We didn't need it today.
It's true.
Yeah, we had really
We
good
didn't
rolls.
Today was a good start. Like, it's getting things juicier.
We've
Yeah.
we've had a kind of chill day again today. Like sometimes it goes a little slower. Sometimes it's firing all the punches. So it's really interesting to see how we vary a little bit.
Remind me next week to make a fortitude roll.
Ooh, what is
Okay.
that?
Bob, make
Fortitude roll.
fortitude
Correct.
roll. Here you go. Can't
This
see
is
it.
this is important. This will be the deciding factor whether or not the apothecary still lives.
Oh, but I cared for her with
You
the
did.
sponge water.
You did. At this point, I'm still trying
Sponge
to
water.
if this is her opportunity to survive. I know. I'm just a right bastard.
Yes, you are. How dare you?
How dare I?
This is the whole point. You do this every week, and now I just want to come back, and then I want to start another book whenever we're going to be done with this. Like, I can't do this. This is like a magical anime in my head. Oh, I'm hooked. I'm literally hooked on a magical anime that I gotta wait a week for.
I know.
When I read books, I have to read it usually in like 1 or 2 sittings over like
all of it. I have to go hammer. I can't do it.
So,
and like,
who tonight had the most clutch rolls?
Tosh or Nyx? They both had nat 20s. It's either them. Me, I had horrible rolls, and so did Ello. We had shitty ass rolls.
You're not wrong.
Should we flip
what
a
do you guys
coin?
think?
Oh, you had 2 nat 20s though, Nick. So you. Oh, did you? I don't know.
No,
you have it because
I had 1 nat 20, and that's it. I only had 1.
I'm gonna cast my vote. I'm gonna cast my vote down to Nyx. Had you not succeeded on that stealth, that Sturge would have seen you, and you would have gotten into a combat situation.
Ooh, that would have not been good too.
Hashtag less having 7 stealth.
Yeah, that would have been a fight. So that's my motion for the vote.
We'll give it a Nyx.
I agree. Nyx, because she's had high points as well, rather than just the 20s.
Okay.
Like then wouldn't that 20?
So your stealth, I would say, was probably the best there. Role playing, in your personal opinion, who was tonight's best role player?
We'll probably have to say Ello.
You think Ello?
Even though he's gone? Yeah, Ello or Tosh. Because they were in there and they didn't want to go anywhere, and they were in their zone, and especially Ello, he was
really like, especially with like trying to
like
help save the apothecary and like everything. Like, I just feel like he played that really well.
Okay, all right.
Trying to tend to her.
I agree. I think everybody did a good job, but I'm going to go ahead and say that I think it was also Ello in the situation. He definitely stepped up. So we'll give him the inspiration here. And then the last vote goes to the chat decide. You guys decide who was tonight's MVP, the most valuable player. This is your chance. Cast your vote. Make it happen.
I feel like I hear the "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire" like like.
See, you say that, but all I could think of was the countdown one. Do 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 do. It's not the same. But it is
Solis
5
did nothing wrong tonight. The Bush. Nyx. Mogar. Not Ella's internet. Nyx again. Nyx.
The Knackle Nim.
The Knackle
You
Nim.
got the sneak down.
Nyx Knackle Nim at your service.
And her brush.
Her
bush.
My brush.
Brush.
It's still strange of me to say that you and your bush did a good job tonight.
Thank you.
Well done. Well
the
done.
bush of all bushes. Them clutch rolls.
Good job. Good job. I think you're going to take this one too. Tonight's MVP was Miss Wisconsin herself. All right, guys. This is your opportunity to cast any questions or anything that you might need over to the casters. If you want to know anything about them, maybe why they made a decision, maybe why they haven't done something yet, this is their opportunity to take those and answer them for you. While I find us someone to host.
Paul Ello, he was going to do the thing after.
I know. I wanted him to as well.
What thing?
He was going to do the stream thing because he didn't do as long yesterday because he didn't feel well, but his internet.
Yeah, his internet died. Doesn't look like anybody's got any questions.
Oh,
You
no
guys
questions?
You guys don't like his? Okay, got
Maybe,
it.
Are you scared?
Maybe you guys have questions for them or for me. If you guys have any questions as players, I'd love to know.
Question is, are you guys ready for next
Would you
week?
guys invest in a bub body pillow? Yes.
How
I
do
would.
we win the game?
How do you win the game? By not dying, for one. Two would be solving
That's
the
a
crime,
joke
solving the
question,
issue.
by the way.
Yeah. Does Mogar have a plan for his personal battle knowledge advancement?
Ooh.
Does Mogar have a plan?
You better believe he doesn't.
Okay, he doesn't. All right, good, gotcha. Mogar, why didn't you light the Sturge house on fire when you left?
Then Kendra will be dead. Oh, like when we left?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Then, shit, man. We're already doing sacred ground stuff. That's not what I'm thinking about. Like, what the hell? I'm not a rogue. I'm not thinking like, oh, yes, we should burn right before. But
Dude, I wouldn't want you to do that. I would talk you out of that. That's like, there were so many, like, fucking people in the
like
dead when we came out of there. That's so disrespectful.
That's burning the burning. That's like double cursing. It's like,
yeah, dude, no. I would have been like, Mogar, no, you have a young woman in your hands, and we will leave now.
Yeah, like if you just stepped outside and then seen all the ghosties and then tried to set fire, it's like...
No, that's so bad. After
I-
playing with the fucking Ouija board, like, no.
What do I think about chat lawyering? I mentioned something about Cypress knowing that he should know to get some herbs to aid in blood production, but I don't know if I was overstepping. I mean, it's okay if I know that information, but I won't let the players use chat information.
I try not to look at chat as much as possible when I'm doing this, just because, like, I don't want any, like, and of course they're gonna talk, like, that's not even a problem, but I try to, like, really separate myself when I'm playing.
In my
first
opinion,
few streams, I had it open and I was reading it because people would not say anything. Or, like, if they were, I was like, oh, I'm just counting it. But I think I might not have chat open because it is sort of... Even if I have an idea and then I see it, I don't want to then do that idea because I've seen it in chat.
Right. It's difficult. It's very difficult. Jedi wants to say, in your opinion, which PC has the best flaw or unique attribute? See, I can't pick because they're all quirky in their own right. And this was like, because of this, I made the decision to not allow quirks in this game because they're all quirky. They're all unique in their own way. And they apply all of their own faults. You know what I mean? Like they do so much to themselves that there's like nothing I can do to really kind of fuck them up because they're doing a great job of doing that on their own.
Yeah. We summoned a serial killer and let him out. I mean...
The plot seriously thickened, though, so you're welcome.
Yeah, it was good. I think, like, I know I was railing on Nyx a little bit earlier, but it was mainly, like, I like the decisions because it's really interesting, but Nyx makes bad decisions.
She does, and I love it. I absolutely love playing this derpy, fucking magical magician gnome who just is so forceful. She's like, well, we should just do this anyway.
And like Symarra letting him,
she's like that bad
that he can escape.
That wants to do like drugs, and then she like persuades you all to do them. Like, you know, like she's like no, you want
to use a Ouija board when we all think
you want to do this. Like, go ahead, you want to. Like, she's like bad. She's a bad influence. She's a bad girl.
I love it. Oh damn. All right. Anything else before we head to a raid, a Reno? How close do I think they are leveling? Pretty close. Pretty close. I've put them through the ringer enough so that they probably have earned their first level, but I'm gonna wait for a point for them to have that. I don't want to give it to them too soon.
Are we all like on the same level as well?
Yeah. Unless you start going through a slew of characters that you don't really care much about, and you're just using it to advance the plot. I'm not going to, I generally have a rule that if you die, your next character comes back with one less level. And I only had to do that because... I don't really want
to die because I don't want to have to make a new character like Symarra.
Right. I've had players go through like 8 different characters. And man, that's hard to write into the story.
I'm treating it as if she dies, I'm not allowed on D&D anymore.
Yeah, that's also how I was treating them.
And that's so
like I literally thought it was an
die.
Well, I think that's a good way to keep it because it'll keep you alive.
I think that Symarra would be cautious. So. She wants to be alive.
She wants to be alive.
Yeah, I try to keep it interesting. That's for
Trust
sure.
me, Mogar will rap one day.
Dude, you do an amazing job.
Good.
Over here with like, what's gonna happen? Oh no, bleh.
The vision, I was like, no.
Guys, we are gonna go ahead and host up my buddy JD Scientize. This is gonna be a raid. If you guys want to usher out a raid command, there it is. Copy it down and raid our friend Jared. He's going to be launching. We're going to be launching a new game with him very soon, and it will be a tabletop game. It's going to be The Reign of Winter, which is another Pathfinder adventure.
Ooh.
So thank you guys very much for coming out. Thank you, casters, for delivering yet again, as always.
Thank you, guys.
I love your faces, and I'll see you cats tomorrow. 24-hour stream. See you then.
Bye.